Can you believe the now chic cardigan was once a military uniform transformed into an emblem of modern style, popularized by the Coco Chanel in the 1920s, and today it takes on different designs and silhouettes.
Hi, I'm Ruby, a self-proclaimed fashion designer. Welcome back to my channel. Let's get sewing.
For today's project, I'm going to be using this cardigan that I already had as a base pattern of the cardigan that I'm going to be making. I'm using this beautiful fabric called Melton fabric. It's fleecy on the inside and like a knit style on the outside. So we're going to start by taking our cardigan and folding it in half and making sure that all the seams are straight. With the fabric on fold, I'm going to be placing the cardigan on top of the fold. I am going to be leaving about 3.5 inches at the bottom of my fabric because I want my cardigan to be a little bit longer. I'm going to be doing a rough outlining of the cardigan. I'm also leaving a lot of space between the cardigan itself and where I'm drawing my lines because the fabric that I'm using is not as stretchy as the original cardigan that I'm tracing out. Here you can play around with what kind of shape and silhouette you want your cardigan to be. Now for the front piece of the cardigan, I'm going to be using the back piece that we just cut out as my guide. And with my fabric on fold, I'm going to leave 2 inches in front of the pattern. For the front neckline, I don't want it to be too low or too high, so I'm just gonna freestyle this. I think it's about like 3 inches lower than the back neckline. Now I'm going to be separating my front 2 pieces because in front that's where we're going to be adding our buttons, and I'm going to be doing about a double fold over to prepare for the buttons and the buttonholes. For the arms of the cardigan, I want them a little bit puffy, like here at the shoulder, and I also want to give them a little cuff. Here I'm just measuring if this is going to be long enough for my arm. So I'm going to be leaving a lot of space so that it gives that puffy illusion at the shoulder. Now cutting the cuff, I'm going to be using the length of the bottom of the arm piece of the cardigan. So the cuff piece is going to be much shorter than the arm length that I'm using, so that I can stretch it out to give that ruched effect at the bottom of the arm. To make my double fold on the front part of the cardigan, I'm gonna fold over an inch and then stem it down and then fold over the other inch. The end result, they're going to be overlapping just like this. Now sewing the cuff piece to the arm piece, I'm going to be stretching out the cuff piece to fit the length of the bottom part of the arm. Taking the back piece of the cardigan, I'm putting the front two pieces, lining up the seams. So we're gonna sew the side seams and the shoulder seams together. gonna do a little fitting of the cardigan. By the way, this is my LCD. This is how I look 90% of the time that I'm sewing, because I just cannot be, you know, in a whole fit, accessorized, jeweled up. I can't do it. I just need to be really comfy and just, you know, super comfy. Anyway, let's try this thing on. Hey, anyway, this is what we're looking like. Oh, it's nice and when I put the buttons, it's gonna be so nice and a little snatched. I feel like it's a little so high, but I think it's good. I think it's fine. And at the bottom, we're going to do a double rolled hem. Then we're gonna hand stitch that because I don't like this. I don't want to see it down there. So this feels so good. It feels so good. It's called what? Melton, I don't know, remember. But one of my clients that I sew for picks really good fabrics. Like some of my fabrics that I've been like making my DIYs with, I see them on his stuff and I'm like, I need this, and then I go get some for me, because this was such a beautiful pick. Even the color, I chose the same color because it's so pretty and it will go with like a lot of my clothes. Anyway, let me try on the hand because I'm kind of skeptical if it's going to be too tight, or if it's going to fit just so cute. Okay, that's how the hand is gonna look like. I think this is a bit too big. I need to take it in. But oh my god, I'm so excited. Now pinning the arm into the armhole, I'm going to find my center point on the arm piece and line it up with my shoulder seam, and then the rest I'm just gonna try and make sure that it's divided equally, because the arm itself is bigger than the armhole, so I wanted to give like a little puffy looking vibe. Now onto sewing it together, I am pulling the armhole to match the arm piece since it's bigger than the armhole. For the neckline of the cardigan, I'm going to be adding another piece of fabric. So we're just going to measure how long the whole neckline is and cut out a piece and prepare it to sew it onto there. So I went ahead and sewed the little fold that we did down and then trimmed the excess. Now I'm going to fold over the sides as well so that the raw fabric is not being exposed. Now to attach it to the cardigan, we're just going to take the piece right sides touching the right side of the cardigan and pin it down. For the bottom hem, I'm folding 1 inch over and pinning it down to stem it. So we're going to be doing an invisible stitch. I found these buttons at the fabric store the other day and I was so happy, and they prompted me to make this cardigan because of the buttons. So now I'm gonna go ahead and start doing my invisible stitch. I hope you guys follow along and see the technique that I'm doing. I don't know if this is the correct technique. This is just how I do my invisible stitching. Buttonholes. You know, if I had wool, I do have wool. Oh, please be green wool. I think it's green. Does this machine not do buttonholes, or I just don't know and don't have the buttonhole foot and don't know how to put the settings for it to, you know, I should search that up. I should definitely search that. Please get to this thing so I can refill when I get here. I don't want to refill my needle while it's in the middle. I just rhymed. My needle in the middle. Yeah, I feel like I like torturing myself, because why did I decide to make an invisible stitch down here? Well, it looks cute, so that's definitely one thing. You know, it's worth it, and it looks so adorable. Ow! Stabbing myself. Crazy. Maybe I should shut up. Me and my mind should shut up and focus on sewing this invisible stitch. I made it. I made it to the middle of the scene. I made it. I made it. Okay. I think I'm gonna start telling people that don't know anything about sewing that when they see invisible hem, they'll be like, how is that done? How is, you know, the piece of fabric, you know, just there holding on and like there is no stitch? Like, no, you know, we practice a little witchcraft. We just go babadi babadi boom, and then we say fabric stay in place, and then we just iron it a little bit, you know, keep it in place. That'll be so hilarious. To insert the buttons, I'm going to be leaving spaces of 5 inches between each button. Initially I wanted to add 5, but I think 4 will look better. To make my buttonholes big enough for the buttons, I am cutting them vertically and about an inch long, each of them. Now to sew around the buttonholes, I'm going to be using this gigantic wool needle and this green wool I bought wanting to knit another cardigan, and I gave up on that project. So my machine does not do buttonholes and this is the only option I have, and I actually think it's gonna come out looking cute. This is how it came out, but I think for the rest I'm gonna go tighter with a thread so that it's not so bulky and looks a bit loose. But I kind of like it, and when you close the button you can't even really see it, but when they're open it looks like a cute extra detail.